She saw his father being killed with her own eyes. She was Soo-hee. The moment her father fell down, she was hiding underneath the bed when the assassin went near her. "Are you there?" She thought she was going to die. But unexpectedly she was taken away. In the depth of her despair, a man rushed in and killed him. He was Mr. Lee, the big boss of a gang. Mr. Lee adopted Soo-hee and helped her revenge. He trained her to be a killing machine. At one time during the training, Soo-hee was drowning. Mr. Lee was frightened and jumped into the water without even thinking. When he pulled Soo-hee onto the ground, he was very worried. When he was about to be furious, the rare childlike aspect inside Soo-hee was suddenly expressed. She knew Mr. Lee fell for her. It was unexpected that there was a new mission. Soo-hee told Mr. Lee, "There was another murderer that killed my father. If you agree to be with me, I can give up on revenge and live a normal life." Fortunately, the revenge didn't impact their relationship much. They got married as intended. At their wedding, she was happy like an innocent girl. During the honeymoon, Mr. Lee took a phone call. The other caller told him that he found the culprit of her father's murder. Mr. Lee, without letting his wife know, searched for him as a present for her. But accidentally, Mr. Lee died in a rain. Her heart was broken. She aimlessly stared at her husband's dead body. She took his gun. "Go in there alone and you will die. Without him, I can't live." This is the action scene from a marvelous angle of view. Soo-hee alone killed all the gangsters, turned all her enemies into corpses, hung on the rope, broke the glass and landed silently on the ground. Unfortunately, as soon as she landed, she was arrested by the cops. Thanks to her excellent skills, Soo-hee had a narrow escape. She caught the attention of the police headquarters and was taken to the Special Forces training base. At the base, there were many beautiful girls. They were skillful at everything: ballet, cooking, drama. Here, Soo-hee changed her appearance. The police hoped she could become their secret weapon. But Soo-hee only wanted to get out. Until she was captured by the Minister of the Homeland Defense Department. "You can kill me." The minister told Soo-hee that she was pregnant with Mr. Lee's child. "Do you want your child to die with you? Live for your child." Wanting to give birth to the child, Soo-hee had to cooperate. The minister agreed that Soo-hee just needed to complete the special training and worked for the organization for 10 years, and then she could leave with her child to start a new peaceful life. Holding the X-ray picture of the child, Soo-hee nodded. From now on, the special training officially started. Cooking, putting makeup, acting were to adapt to every complicated situation. During that time, the child was born. After the labor, Soo-hee was arranged to take more intensive training. There was a girl who always competed with her. "Hey, Eun Byun, I heard you were good with a knife." She assumed Soo-hee was a newbie. "Hey sis, take her down." But she was wrong. She was knocked out within 3 moves. Now that she was a mother, her fighting skills increased day by day. It was the shooting examination. Soo-hee didn't care much. She practiced shooting since she was small. The 3-year training went by. Soo-hee received her first mission. In order to get out with her daughter, she risked everything. Having finished the mission, Soo-hee was rewarded deservedly, which was leaving the prison with her daughter. She got a new identity as a widow with her child. The minister reminded Soo-hee to remember her new identity, and secretly sent a special agent to follow them. That agent was Yun-soo. His job was to supervise her. He was tall, handsome, and warm, making broken-hearted Soo-hee moved. Yun-soo took her daughter for a walk, knew how to cook, offered her the protection when she needed it the most. Days like that were what she had been waiting for years. Soo-hee just didn't know that that was the last peaceful moment of her life. Back to the drama troupe, Soo-hee met her best friend while in the special training. They were teammates and conducted a mission together. That time it was finding out the origin of a mafia gang. But when Yun-soo appeared, she couldn't make a decision and make the gangster suspicious. Soo-hee made an excuse to go to the toilet and stole his phone. After copying the information, she opened the door and got caught. They jumped into and had a fight. Soo-hee took down a guy but revealed her weak point. Her best friend didn't hesitate to take a sword for her. She died in Soo-hee's arms. Soo-hee was shocked and returned home in a terrible state. She cried silently in the bathroom. "Soo-hee, are you alright?" Yun-soo patted her head and embraced her. That hug didn't change the cruel reality, but it calmed Soo-hee down. Yun-soo showed Suk-hee the nice aspects of the world and helped her have the will to move on. The next morning she wept and told him that she was an assassin. The person you are looking at isn't my true self. No matter who you are and what happens, I won't leave you alone. The words lingered in her mouth but she couldn't speak it out. She was afraid of losing him. So was Yun-soo. In fact, he had fallen in love with pitiable Suk-hee. Actually, I am not what you see. They maintained a strange balance between them. Their wedding took place on an ordinary day. But that day she received another mission which was outflanking the head of a mafia gang in Dien Bien. She opened the toilet tank lid, took out the rifle. She put the parts together, was about to pull the trigger, then she realized the target was her husband who had died long ago. The cold ran up her spine, and the bullet deviated from its path, hit Mr. Lee's sunglasses, which revealed her position. Her ex-husband followed the trace and found Suk-hee. Seeing her ex-husband, Suk-hee cried. She seemed as if she still had feelings for him. Mr. Lee had blood on his hands, so he didn't surrender. You must remember that the wedding is a mission. He gave the record of the conversation between Yun-soo and the organization to his subordinate to store it in a hard disk and send Suk-hee. When receiving the hard disk, Suk-hee cried in agony. The seeming happiness turned out to be a perfect lie. To revenge, she announced the information that the organization wanted to kill Mr. Lee and had her colleagues arrested in front of the lift. Coming back home, when Yun-soo hugged her, "Suk-hee, I love you," she felt ridiculous. To escape from the control of the organization, Suk-hee and Mr. Lee cooperated to prepare to take their daughter away secretly and flee with Mr. Lee. Unfortunately, when she was about to get home, she saw Yun-soo and her daughter falling from above. "My baby, wake up." "Suk-hee. Who did this? Tell me." Suk-hee assumed that everything was the punishment of the organization. Then she alone rushed to kill the minister, but the minister calmly showed her the CCTV record. CCTV revealed the truth. The one who killed her daughter and Yun-soo was Mr. Lee. Yun-soo accompanied her daughter back home. Mr. Lee's subordinates were waiting inside the house. Yun-soo risked his life retaliating. In the end, he even had to beg. "Eun-hye is your daughter." He told Mr. Lee that the child was Mr. Lee and Suk-hee's. But Mr. Lee wasn't moved, even asked Yun-soo to kill the child with his hands. Looking at the knife, Yun-soo sheds a tear. In the end, he couldn't do anything except embracing her daughter and jumped out of the house before the bomb exploded. Knowing everything, Suk-hee cried her eyes out. Mr. Lee was cold-blooded. Suk-hee lost her love, took her weapon and intended to die with Mr. Lee. She killed a bunch of people in a minute. She found him upstairs. "Did you ever love me? Even for a second? I used to love you." Facing the person who brought her up, Suk-hee couldn't kill him. She was still in love with him. But Mr. Lee told her actually he was the one who killed her father. It was he who chopped her father's head down and took her away, trained her to become an assassin. So far, Suk-hee was just his killing machine. But after that, he realized that he truly loved Suk-hee. So he decided to fake his death, hoped that Suk-hee could revenge for him, and killed his enemy. He supposed that she would die revenging for him, but he mistook. Suk-hee and Mr. Lee fought on the bus. Eventually she won. The death finally scared Mr. Lee. But looking at him, she didn't hesitate. She carried the hammer. She could have lived a better life and didn't have to kill anyone, but Mr. Lee took everything from her. How could she not get mad about that?